Hello everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Xayah, Legends of a Drift System with the Embers of a Forsaken Star and Missions and Powers expansions. And we're just about to start episode 10, but not before we take a little trip to Catweazle's cock-up corner. And here we are at Catweazle's cock-up corner. Yes. Now, what did I do wrong last turn? Couple of things. So, thanks to Rory for pointing them out. And what did I do wrong? Well, first of all, we'll chat about Cinderbeard. You just see him here. He's here. You'll notice that the sharp-eyed amongst you will notice that he's a bit nearer Loath than he was. He's moved an extra 2 spaces. The reason for that is Cinderbeard, when he flees after an attack, he actually moves 10. He doesn't move 8. It's the scoundrel that moves 8. So I've moved in those extra 2 spaces, which means in all probability the Enforcer will attack the scoundrel because the scoundrel is nearer. And talking of attacking, there is another thing that I do slightly different. This isn't particularly an error, it's just the way I play the game. When I have NPCs attacking PCs, I try and have them stay in safe space where they can. Now, they are allowed to cross nebulas, to cross asteroid fields, cross debris fields without taking damage. That means they can basically fly straight towards you, really. It's only planetary shields and star boundaries that cause them any problem. But other than that, they can sort of go where they like. But I don't play it like that because I find it doesn't seem thematically right, especially for the outlaws, who are meant to be cowards. And to have them flying willy-nilly in and out of asteroid and debris fields doesn't seem right. That said, if they can't fly somewhere safely to attack, then they will cut through. But the Cinderbeard didn't have to do that last turn, and so he just went for it, and he managed to get his attack in, and then he managed to flee, so that was fine. Similarly, a few episodes ago, the sellsword didn't follow the Gaiden into the asteroid field. Now, the reason for that is it wouldn't have done him any good anyway, because there's no line of sight in asteroid or debris fields, so why would he fly in? He just wouldn't do it. It just doesn't make sense. So he stayed outside of the asteroid field, and he was thinking to attack the Cobra Hex's ship when it came out. So I'm fine with that. That just makes thematic sense. But as I say, if an outlaw is chasing a particular ship, then he will follow through things like nebulas, and it won't cost him any damage. That is rules as written. But generally, they will try and avoid it. They will fly through safe space wherever possible. It just makes thematic sense to me. The Enforcer is slightly different. He's not as much of a coward as the other two. And yes, he will take a few more risks. So he will fly through the odd asteroid and debris field. He won't bother if he's not going to get line of sight or any benefit from flying through an asteroid or debris field. He won't bother. He'll stay in safe space. But if he can sort of, take a shortcut to catch up with his quarry, then he will do. Yeah. But I'll talk about that on individual basis when we're actually attacking either PCs or we're attacking other NPCs. So that's just to clear that up. The other mistake I made was the Ember. I had Johnny Neptune pick up some Ember. Well, he couldn't, because he'd already used his Batea Grid. He used his Batea Grid to pick up the Cyber, and he was on the harvest spot in Burning Horse when he rolled the 20. He still gets his fame point, but he didn't get an Ember. He got a Hollow. So he's now got 3 Hollow. The Ember that he sold for 2,000 credits, he didn't. So he's given 1,000 credits back that he had, and the 1,000 credit penalty that he paid on Mob Rule, he's handed that back as well. So Mob Rule has only got 3,000 credits on it now, not 4,000. And he just has his extra hollow, so he'll have to try and get to Kemplar 2 just to sell his hollow the normal way. Okay, and I think that is it. So thanks to Rory for pointing those out. And yeah, I just mentioned that I do the movement of the NPCs slightly different, but that's just thematic for me. And yeah, I just don't like the idea of them flying willy-nilly through nebulas and asteroid fields and debris fields. They'll do it if they have to. Otherwise, they will avoid doing that. Okay, so I think that is it for Catweazle's Cock-Up Corner. And we can move on with episode 10. Our first player is still Johnny Neptune. Let's get across to the action phase. And here we are with Johnny. So let's take his armed markers. We will also take these. And yes, we'll probably use hard bargaining. And because he's looking to sell these 3 hollow here, he's also got that cyber. And hopefully we can get rid of that bit of damage. Okie doke, let's get across to the board. And here we are with the Manchester. There it is on the kiln. Okay, so what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to roll for hard bargaining. So we're going to spend 3 energy. That's going to put him down to 11, and then we're going to roll a d20. So let's roll a d20, see what we get. And we get a 17. So we will receive an extra 1,000 credits per cube that we sell for this turn. So we'll turn that over. Let's put it over here now we've used it. And that's great. So let's sell as many of these cubes as we can. We're going to use one of these and put it on his Halon engine. So that's a D8. We've got a GTS. Rolls a 3, so that's 5. So we're going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gets us to there. We're going to spend another one of these. Yes, because we can't get there with his... Yeah, we can't get there with his impulse. So we need to spend another one of these. A 1, that's a 3. Oh, what? 1, 2, 3. Still can't get to the sell spot. Oh, how rubbish. How rubbish is that? So, yeah. And we are going to use his impulse this time. So we'll flip that over. And he's got an impulse of 2, but he's only going to use 1. He's going to sell that hollow. He's got 3 cubes. That would normally be 3,000 credits, but he gets an extra 1,000 of credits, so that's 6,000. That's going to generate 3 spice. So we'll put those onto the economy board. Spice is in demand, so that's an extra 1,000 credits. So he's now got 7,000 credits. Yeah, I'll just do that, won't be a sec. Okay, that's done. So he's got 7,000 credits. He doesn't get a fame point because he's still got a cyber cube, and you've got to sell all of your cubes. And so even though he sold over 2 cubes, he's still got 1 left, and you have to sell all of your cubes. And to sell his cyber, he needs to get all the way over to Dorovin 5. He's already used 2 engines and his impulse, so he won't be able to do that. So we'll do something different, I think. Yeah, we'll use his final end. Oh no, he's sold something. So he's going to use his inertia harness and move up to 3 spaces. So we'll turn that over as well. And he'll just move 2 spaces. And he's going to buy 2 of those spice that he's just generated. So that'll cost him 1,000. Yep. So I'll just put those onto his player tray. That's going to cost him 1,000, so he's down to 6,000 credits. And is he going to move? Is he going to move? Is it worth it? It's not really. He wants to get rid of that damage, and that's going to cost him 2,000. So yeah, he's just going to leave it at that. So he's going to stay on the planet, and what we'll do is we'll use the final one of these to use an engine. I'm not going to bother to roll because he's only going to move one anyway. He's just going to move to the entrance, ready to go. And he's going to get all of his energy and everything back anyway, so, and it gets him off the buy space just in case anybody else wants to go on it. Okay, so he's not going to spend his last arm token. He's not used the potato grid. Put that back. And that is it for his action phase. Okay, next up, he's on a planet, so it's the business phase. And here we are at the business phase. So first of all, he's going to spend 2,000 credits, so he'll put this 5,000 in that he got for flogging some of those hollow, and he'll get 3,000 change. Can pick it up, and that means he can get rid of that bit of damage. So he's got 4,000 credits. Okay. These can go onto disarmed. And yeah, there's his new cargo, his spice. He already had a cyber from the potato grid last turn. And yeah, the economy board is now getting some produce on it. Alright, is he gonna buy anything? Hang on while I have a think. And I'm back, and we made a couple of purchases. Yes, we've sold our Zulu 2. That cost 2,000 originally, so we'll get 1,000 for that. And we've done the same with the Halon engine, which cost 2,000, so we'll get 1,000 for that. And we bought a Raptor K engine for 3,000 and a Bastion shield for 3,000. So that's 6,000 in total. We got 2,000 for trading these in, plus the 4,000 we've got here. And he's made his purchases. Awesome. And yes, he's heard tales of there's like increased pirate activity in the system, so he's increased his shields and he's increased his ability to run away with a more powerful engine. Okay, so that is it for him. And yes, let's move on to the status phase. And here we are at the status phase. Should have remembered in the business phase he got all of his energy back. He's going to rearm all of these. Costs 3, 1, 2, 3, but he gets it all back. Because he's on planet, he gets his impulse back. And he also gets the inertia harness and his hard bargaining back. Okay, great stuff. That is it for Johnny Neptune. Next up is Cobra Hex. And here we are with Cobra Hex. And what's he going to do? Well, we're going to pick these up. Yeah, let's get rid of... We'll sell these spice and try and sell this plasma as well. We need some money. I'd like to get him a tier 3 ship. And we do have 1,000 plasma because it's in demand. So we could pick that up by selling the spice. And we can also, if he sells his plasma, that will generate cyber and he could pick up 1,000 there. And that would get him 8,000. He'd get 6,000 through doing that. And... he's got 3,000 there, so he'd have enough for a brand new ship. Plus, we'd like him to finish on a planet because he has energy problems. He's only got 3 energy. Okay, Right, so let's get across to the board, see how he gets on. And here we are with the Gaydon. There it is, just outside Neo Damascus. He's got an impulse of 4. Ooh, that'll do. So we'll use his impulse to begin with. So flip that over, and that'll be enough for him to go 1, 2, 3 onto the cell space here. He's going to stop there, and he's going to do some selling. So he'll sell those 2 cubes. They go into the supply, but they do generate 2 cubes of plasma, which go onto the economy board. So he gets the 1,000 credits that was on the economy board, and he also gets 2,000 credits for that lovely spice. So he now has 6,000 credits. Awesome. And what is he going to do now? He hasn't even spent any of his engines or anything. Could do with buying a plasma. He's got a GTS. We'll roll just for chucks. But he's got a GTS anyway, and he's only going to use 2. So he rolled a 6. He had more than enough. He's just going to go onto the buy space and stop. Put that on his Halon engine. And he's going to buy. He's just going to spend 1,000 credits. That'll get him those 2 plasma, which will again put them into demand. So he's bought those 2 plasma for 1,000 credits. So he now has 3,000 plasma on his ship. Remember, he hasn't got a fame point yet, even though he sold those 2 spice. Unfortunately, he didn't sell the plasma at the same time, so he still had cargo in his cargo bay, so he doesn't get a fame point. But now he can look to move, and let's get him down to Lunari, where he can sell that plasma and get a fame point. So he's going to use that to put it on his Halon engine. We need a good roll now. Lunar isn't far, but come on, let's have some good rolls. A 7. He's got GTS, so that'll be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets him to here. Then he's going to roll again and use another one of these. This will be his final engine. And that's an 8, so he doesn't need his GTS anyway. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 onto the cell space. In fact, he's going to go mission space, then the cell space, because he's got loads of extra movement. He does have his M comp, so he can get himself an extra mission. So we'll just pick himself 3 cards that he can have a look at during the status phase. 1, 2, 3. Put those on his player card. We'll have a look at those later. He does have a shuttle mission, and he's still got to turn in his bounty hunter mission, but he can have 1 more. So that's why we've picked those up. He's gone onto the cell space. He's going to sell plasma for 1,000 each. He's got 3 plasmas. We'll take those. Those will generate cyber. So he will get the 1,000 credits because it's in demand. Pop that. So we'll put 3 cyber on the economy board. And he gets 3,000 for the cyber itself. And a fame point. He's now got no cargo left. So what's he got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 9,000. So he has got enough for a new ship. Awesome. Okay, so he's going to stay there. He can't use another engine, unfortunately. He's not going to use his Starlight Hill or his TAC X, didn't have to bother. And yep, he's going to stay on planet, so he will get a business phase. Let's move into it. here we are at the business phase. So he's going to get all of his energy back. These are all going to go onto disarmed. Cool. Excellente. They've all gone on there. And yes, I think he is going to get himself a new ship. So give me a few moments. I'm going to pick out a new ship and I'll be back. And here we are with Cobra Hex's new ship, the Cold Phoenix. Very nice. So it's got 14 energy, it's got an impulse of 3, it's got a hold of 15, and it's a very sleek looking machine. Let's have a look at the mini. So there it is. Come on, focus. So very, very nice looking ship for Cobra Hex there. We'll pop that over there, we'll swap it with the Gaiden. It also gets its own ability, and it is Wormhole Ripper. Travel through the fabric of space. Cold Phoenix. As an action, spend 3 energy and roll a d20. On 1 to 4, nothing happens. The wormhole destabilizes. On a 5 to 9, you can place your ship on any space up to a sector away. 10 to 19, any space up to 2 sectors away. And 20, you can place your ship anywhere. Cannot place your ship in a star or on a space that is already occupied. You do not have to roll for any borders passed through, because you didn't really go through them. Awesome. Brilliant. So that is going to be a very, very useful ability for him. He's still got 1,000 credits left. We're not going to spend that. We will update our engines and whatnot at some point, but at the moment we're not going to bother. In fact, I was thinking I wasn't going to bother, but there is one thing I'm going to buy for 1,000. Because we may as well, around here somewhere, yeah. He's just going to buy himself a shield. He hasn't currently got a shield, so he's just going to get himself a Targe shield. And that'll fit rather nicely at the top here. So pop that in there. All the rest of his stuff has fitted in. So he's essentially, all he's got left now is 2 cargo spaces. That's just on the off chance he picks something up. Most of the time he's going to be, first of all, I think next turn he's going to go after Cinderbeard. And then he can concentrate on killing the scoundrel and things like that. So, yeah, he's going to be our combat model. But, yeah, there he is. He's got himself a brand new ship and he's ready to go. Think that is it for the business phase. Next up, we're going to move into the status phase. And here we are at the status phase. He got a fame point for selling all of that plasma. So that turns him into a calculating cosmonaut. And he also gets a fame point because he's got a brand new ship. He catches up. He's now a proficient prowler, just like Johnny Neptune. So he's caught up with Johnny Neptune, which is good. A bit of competition going on the fame point front. And he'll get all of his armed tokens back. And that'd have cost him 3, but he's on planet, so he gets it back because he's on Lunari. He gets his impulse back, which is great. And he didn't use any of his special abilities, so those are fine. But he has got an M-comp, so we'll have a look at these. Again, he's not interested in these baddie missions. I was hoping to get another bounty hunter mission, but never mind. We'll discard those. Put those over here, no problem. And yes, I think that is it now for his turn, but he is looking after the Enforcer, and the Enforcer is going to have a bit of a turn. Let's have a look at his card. I think he's going to be going after the Scoundrel because it's the nearest, but we'll check. Acquire target. If attacked, he hasn't been attacked. Otherwise, the Enforcer targets the closest outlaw ship up to 1 sector away, and it is 1 sector away, the Scoundrel. The Cinderbeard is over a sector away. Remember, he got that 2 extra movement. And the Scoundrel has still been the nearest anyway. So he's going to move 6 spaces towards the scoundrel, I think, and he's got a missile. So he's going to try and get line of sight, but I think he might struggle. We shall see. Let's get across to the board and see how he gets on. And here we are with the Enforcer. He is here. So let's have a look at our NPC card. We're on side B, remember? So the scoundrel has a move of 9, but he's not going anywhere. He's being hunted down. He's not going to attack either, because he's going to be doing defending. So he's going to defend with 1d8 shields. The Enforcer needs 15 hits to kill him. And the Enforcer has got a d8 missile and a d20 missile. Ooh! So, yes, he's a bit of a beast. So he gets to move 9, not 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if he goes here, missiles, you've got to have at least 2 distance. So he's going to go here instead on the mining spot, and I think that is still line of sight. Let's just take these guys off. So it's the middle of a space to the middle of a space, and I do believe that that is line of sight. So unlucky Mr. Scoundrel. Good idea staying in a asteroid field, but it hasn't worked. So 2 missiles and one of them's a D20. So it's a blue ship, so we'll use the blue dice. So we've got a D8 and a D20. Oh, this could be bad news for the scoundrel. An 18 and a 7. That's 25. So 25 damage of missiles. The scoundrel gets to roll a D8. So let's roll a D8. I don't think he can survive. He rolled a 5, but that is still 20 damage. And to kill, it is 15 damage. So, boom, he's gone. He will spawn back at Loth. I'll put him on the mission point at Loth. So he's going to spawn again. But as it stands, he's just been blown out of the sky. And the good old Enforcer doing his job. Cinderbeard will be thinking, oh dearie me. Cinderbeard will be a little bit worried. Now, there was 2,000 bounty on the outlaw. On the scoundrel, rather. So that 2,000 now goes to the Enforcer. The Enforcer's picked up the bounty. So we'll put that on his card. When I can find him, where is he? He's over here. And so he's got 2,000 credits now for the Enforcer. Good stuff. The newly respawned scoundrel gets another 2,000. He always has a 2,000 bounty on him, so I'll pop that on his card. But he's now on Loth. So he's been exploded, and a new one has took his place on Loth. Alright, so yeah. And Cinderbeard here, he is within a sector. So he's going to have to bear that in mind, because it's going to be coming after him next. Okay, right. So that is it for the Enforcer. Next up, it is Aqua Scion. And here we are with Aqua Scion. So we're going to take these. And yeah, I'd like to do this research mission. The scoundrel has been destroyed, so perhaps we can sneak into Pelmont and get the hell out again, especially seeing as we've got a Raptor K engine. We'll be rolling a D12. We still have all those spawn points, so we can use wormholes up here, try and get away. And then I'm going to try and do a little bit of exploration, because she needs to find the planet where she can sell these Terra cubes. So I think that's Azure, so we've got to find Azure. And the only way to do that is to do some exploration. So that's what we're going to try and do. I think we'll take all this sort of stuff with us, just in case we have to use it. And let's get across to the board. And here we are with Aquasign and the Carriac on the kiln. So I think first of all we're going to use one of her engines. So pop that on her Raptor K engine, D12, and she's got 2 GTS, so hopefully she'll do really a 1. What a load of bloody rubbish. So that's 5. So she's going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's just short of that mission point. Oh. She's going to use her impulse. And that's of 2. So that's going to get her on the mission point. So at least she's going to complete that mission. And she gets 3,000 credits for handing that in and a fame point. So we'll have to remember that for the status phase. Oh, right. Now, let's get the hell out of there, because we're a bit close to Mr. Cinderbeard here. And I think we'll try and do some... Yes, we'll try and do some exploring over here, I think. But we'll have to roll a bit better. So, we'll spend another arm token, and we'll roll another D12 and try and get more than a 1. A 9. So that is going to be a full 12 movement, because she's got 2 GTS. So... spin around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to have a look in here. That's going to cost us an energy, so moves it down to 13 energy for a long range scan, and we're going to use this symbol here, the circle symbol. Let's bring these in, do a cut, and let's see what she's found. Oh, she's found Red Gulch. So it's got spawn point 9, mining spot for terror, and a mission point, and it also has a exploration point. So we're doing it with the circles, which is there. So there we go. Okay, another asteroid field. Funky. Let's roll for these. So blue is for columns, red is for rows. It's 5 and 1. So that's going to go on there. Awesome. And coolness. So not a bad spot. But we've got to get away from this guy. And we've only got 1 engine left. So... oh, how many did I use then? I had full 12, didn't I? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it a minor action to... bear with me? Scan is not a minor action, so we had to stop. Yeah. So we had to stop there anyway. We're going to spend that. Final engine, have a roll, and that's a 6, which becomes a 10. So what to do here? What to do? Might go on to the spawn point. It's just because this guy, he could just go straight across here. He could go straight across the nebula, and he wouldn't have any energy loss. Or I could move into Ferron's Call, and I would get caught on the gravity track, but I might be able to pick up a couple of these, but that's a bit risky. Or I could make it all the way up here and look again. Or use that spawn point. I think we'll use the spawn point, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to use the spawn point. So where are we going to end up? I've still got a few movement points, remember, so let's roll a d20. 11. So I'm just going to have a look around the map. 11 is down at the Deltas Gate. So yes, we're going to go down to the Deltas gate. Let me reposition the camera. And here we are at spawn point 11. That's the Deltas gate. So we spent 3 to get to the spawn point. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that'll get us onto the buy spot at Lunari. And we are going to buy something. We are going to spend 1,000 credits and we're going to buy 2 of these cyber cubes. And she's going to put those onto her ship. Awesome. And that costed her 1,000. But yes, we managed to do a little bit of exploring. We didn't find Azure, which we wanted to find, but she was able to get away from Cinderbeard there. He would have just charged through the nebula at Vortex 86 and just tried to cause us some grief there. And as we know, he does have he does have some movement on him. So he's so she's well got out of his clutches, I think. So she should be okay there on Lunari. Yep, that's it for the action phase. So she's on a planet, so let's do the business phase. And here we are at the business phase. So, yep, she gets all of that energy back, what she spent on the long-range scan. She still got 2,000 credits. She finished that research encounter, but we keep that. Those are her 2 cyber that she's just bought. These go on to disarmed, and I've left all her cards and everything over here. That one wasn't spent, and she didn't spend any of these either. So they'll all stay the right way up. Okay, so is she going to buy anything? I don't think she is. She's just going to chill out there on Lunari, and that is it for her business phase. Next up is the status phase. And here we are at the status phase. So all these are going to go back up here and get armed. She's going to get her impulse back. That's going to cost her 1, 2, 3, but she gets that back because she's on a planet. And I think that fame point. Yep, she got a fame point. So she's now Captain Adept. So that's pretty cool. And yes, very good. That is it for Aquasion. Now we do the Merchant. Now the Merchant's got 4,000 credits on it. It's currently at Doravin 5. Where's it going to head to next? It can't go to Azure, so it's going to head for Kemplar 2. Okay, and its movement, let's just check the NPC card. Its movement is 15. So let's get across to the board and see how far it gets. And here we are with the Merchant. It's heading to Kemplar 2, which is way over there. So, but it's got 15 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's knock everything all over the shop. Only problem with games like this, get a bit fiddly with everything on the board. Right, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Seeing as nobody's on the kiln at the moment. And now I've forgotten how far I went. So we were on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So it's got a fair way. It's got a fair way. Very nearly at Kemplar 2. And yeah, he will just stop there. So that is it for the merchant's turn. Next up, it is Ves Virgo. And here we are with Ves Virgo, and she's in a bit of a mess. Both her GTSs are out of action. Her shields took a couple of hits. Yeah, she's in a bit of a mess. But we still need to get something done. So we won't go straight to Kemplar 2. I think what we'll do is we'll try and explore, and then we'll probably come back to Kemplar 2 is what we'll do. Or maybe we'll try and get on the kiln. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how we go on. We'll take both of these with us just in case. Okay, let's get over to the board. And here we are at the board. Yep, so I think what she'll do, she'll sort of head up in this direction. We'll try and explore up here. So we're going to spend one of these, put it on her engine. At least her engine isn't damaged, so that's a D8. Do with a good score, seeing as both of her GTS are out of action. And we get an 8. That is exactly what we wanted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll stop here. We're going to explore. It's a circle. And we're just going to explore in here. So bring this out. We'll do a cut. And we'll see what this top one is. And it is, oh, Azure. So there we go. She's found what Aquacyan couldn't. And there we go. It pops in right there. So you buy Hollow here and you can sell Terror. So nice one. Okay. So we had to stop for that scan. That cost her an energy, so she's only got 2 energy left. Is it worth going on to Azure? I think it is, you know. Let's try and get on Azure. So we'll roll again. Roll this. And that's just another D8. And this time we only get a 2. So 1, 2. Onto the spawn point, but we're not going to use it as a wormhole. And we're going to go again. This time, with her final engine, we're hoping for a bit more than a 2. We get a 7, good. 1, 2, 3 to here. And then I think, oh, I'll tell you what we've got to do. It does have, oh, what's the word? An expiration token here. So we've got to just roll for that. Blue is column. Get rid of that. Blue is columns. Oh, 1, 1. So right in the corner. So this one, pop that there. Right. So she did get a 7, didn't she? And she was here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I was thinking of having a look round here as well. But 1, 2, 3 on her impulse won't get to this. So we're going to go 6, 7. Then we're going to use our impulse for an extra 3. 1, 2. I believe picking up one of those is a minor action. Let me just check. Yes. So 2, and then we'll move back 1. So we get one of these. This is the second one. So let's flick it over. Ooh, what was it? Ooh, energy. She gets all of her energy back. She'd have got it all back anyway, but never mind. She now has 2 of those exploration tokens, so at least that'll give her 2,000 credits. And yes, we're going to stop there. We're not going to use, oh, mind you, on the recall, we're not going to use that. We'll put that back as an arm token. We're not going to use the disruptor field. Let's play it cool. But recall, while in normal space, oh no, we're on planet now, so we can't use recall. So we won't. We'll just leave it just outside Kemplar 2 for now. Okay, so she's finished on Azure, which is great. She will be able to heal up all of that damage on her ship. Heal up, repair all of that damage on her ship. And yeah, let's get straight into the business phase. And here we are at the business phase. We're going to take both of these and we're going to put them in for cash. Sweet credits. We'll get 2,000 credits, so she's now got 6,000. Great. And yes, she's going to spend 1,000. I think it's still 1,000 because it's a tier 2 ship. It is still 1,000, so we're going to spend 1,000 of that. And we're going to get rid of all this horrible damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Got rid of all that. And these become disarmed. Oh, that's right. You just kick it down there. It's really difficult to get. Nice one. Okay, there we go. And yeah, we were back to full energy anyway because we found that exploration token. And we've got we've got 5,000 credits. Do we want to buy anything else? No, ideally we want a new ship, so we're going to save up for a new ship, I think. Haven't got enough yet, we just need another 3,000. But if we can sell these cyber cubes, that's going to help immensely. So we might have to get across to, is it Dorovin 5? It is Dorovin 5 where you sell your cubes. So yes, that seems like the plan. So we're not going to buy anything. So let's move straight into the status phase. And here we are at the status phase. So impulse, we'll get that back. Awesome. We'll rearm these. Costs us 3, 1, 2, 3, but we get it all back because we're on a planet. And I think that's it. We didn't use either of those. And we've got no fame points or anything like that. So she's ready to go again. Alright, okay. That's it for her. But we have the Scoundrel and we have Cinderbeard. We'll go across to the board and see what those two are going to do. And here we are at the board, and here's the Scoundrel. Now, he can move 9. So the nearest innocent ship to him is the Manchester right up here. But he knows the Enforcer is here. Now, the way I'm going to play this is I'm not going to make these NPCs, you know, be Einstein incarnate. And I'm also not having them being completely, like, stupid either. What he's going to do is he's going to try and get up there, but he's going to be aware of the Enforcer here. It would have got around the criminal fraternity where the Enforcer was, especially after he killed another scoundrel not long ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to move 9, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's still 1 sector away, but he's going to go into the asteroid field here. He is allowed to do it because he's an NPC. But where he could, he's stuck to save space, and now he's just hidden in here because he wants to be out of line of sight. And he's also over a sector away. So there's a sector there and that's the second sector. So he's over a sector away. So he's sort of going round this way. He can't go any further because he's only got 9 move. But that's what he's done, yeah? So he's sort of setting himself up to stay away from the enforcer, but still, you know, get close to a ship that he can sort of attack. And you never know, he might get an opportunity a bit later on. So, as said, they are not going to be Einstein reincarnated, but they're not going to be as thick as 2 short planks either. They're going to take some precautions. Okay, so that's him. And then we're going to move on to Cinderbeard here. Now, Cinderbeard is exactly the same. And what he wants to do is he wants to attack as well. And that is going to be the poor old Manchester, which is here. Now, he moves, what is it, 12 spaces. So he's going to be able to get here. And again, he doesn't particularly want to go right past the enforcer. So he's going to cut through. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 to here. But because he's an outlaw, he can't go through the entrance here. So he's going to have to brave the planetary shield. Now, when he tries to cross the planetary shield here, so he's gone, what is it? Where was he? He was there, wasn't he? So he's gone 1, 2, 3 out of his 12 movement, and he's going to try and get through here. But he has to roll a d20 because of the rules for crossing a planetary shield, which do apply to NPCs. And what those rules say is that you've got to roll a d20. Now, if he rolls a 10 or an under, he starts taking damage. If he rolls an 11 to 17, they can successfully cross the planetary shield, but they'll gain an extra bounty and of 1,000, and then they can sort of carry on. Or if an 18 to 20, he will get through the planetary shield, no problem. So we're just going to roll that d20. He's going to try and cross that shield. Now he rolls a 5. So he's unable to cross the shield and he takes 5 damage. That is unblockable damage. So shields and things like that don't work. Not that that affects Cinderbeard, because Cinderbeard doesn't have any shields anyway. So he's took 5 damage. But he can still carry on, and that cost him 1 movement point. So he's used 4 movement points now. He's going to try again, because he's still got some hull points. An 11, so he does manage to cross. So with his 5th movement point, he crosses, but he takes a bounty of 1,000. So he now has a bounty. So we'll put that on his card as well. And so that was his 5th. 6, 7, he's right next to our friend the Manchester, and he is going to attack. Okay, so he attacks with 2d12, so it's going to be those, and I've got to have a look at the Manchester, see what he's going to use. He has got a bastion shield, and he is going to use 2 of those, so he's going to use 2d12s as well to sort of fight this off. So let's roll for Cinderbeard first. He rolls a 3. It was d12 he should use, not a d20. So we'll do it with the d12, sorry. An 11, oh, of course he starts rolling well now. An 11 and a 1, so 12, that'll do. See, that complaining worked. And then, so it's got 12 damage. We stopped 3, and 4. We stopped 7 out of 12. So the Manchester will get 5 damage. So we'll put that 5 damage onto the Manchester. So it's got 5 damage. And yes, that's a bit nasty. That is a bit nasty. Now, Cinderbeard, he flees 10 spaces, and that's what he's going to do now. So he turns round, he goes 1, 2, and he's trying to get out. Yep, he's trying to flee, he's trying to get out, but he has to roll again. So a d20, and he rolls an 11, just manages to get out again, but he takes another bounty, I believe. So he's now got 2,000 bounty. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he's got on to Loath. Yeah. So his attacks for 5 damage because of he had a bit of trouble getting into the planetary shield. Attacked, put 5 damage on the Manchester, and then he fled. Yeah. So he's fled and he's managed to get all the way back down here. I think that's 10 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he's got there, and he's over a sector away from the Enforcer, which it was his plan. But he hasn't had it all of his own way. He's gained some bounty, and he's also got 5 damage, which will make him a tasty target for somebody, because he doesn't have any shields. So somebody should be able to take him out, especially the Cold Phoenix. The Cold Phoenix should be able to take him out, so if Cobra Hex can get over to Loath, he could put some damage on this guy. Okay, right, so that is it for the Scoundrel. That is it for Cinderbeard. We finished off Ves Virgo. So that is it for episode 10. And again, quite a lot in this episode. We got quite a bit done. We got some exploring done. We found Azure. We found Red Gulch. The Manchester's been attacked. Johnny Neptune, about time. So he's took some damage, and yeah, so a bit grim for Johnny, but you know, it's bringing everybody else back into the game. Great game, great turn, sorry, for Cobra Hex. He's doing really well. He's got to Lunari, and not a bad turn for Aquascion. She's also on Lunari, but yeah, we're sort of getting there. Not a great turn for Ves Virgo, but she really had to just concentrate on getting rid of all that damage that she had. So she has found Azure, and hopefully she'll be able to play catch up from next episode. So she's a humble skipper. Aquacion's a captain adept, and both of Johnny Neptune and Cobra Hex, they're still, what is it, proficient prowlers. And so it's quite close. It is quite close, even though we're sort of playing it in a role-playing fashion rather than a competitive fashion. Alright, so that's it for episode 10. I hope you'll join me for episode 11. And thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions, for all the views, for all the likes and the dislikes. You're still watching. If you've noticed any errors, please let me know. And just like I did this episode, we'll try and correct them for next episode. So give us a shout if you've noticed anything that I've done wrong. Other than that, thank you for all the help and support. Thanks to everybody who's gone across to Board Game Links to upvote the site, and everybody at BGG who's liked the video threads over there, made a comment, dropped Geek Gold, anything like that. Thank you. And oh yes, any followers on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, thank you so much. Okay, as I say, that's it for episode 10. Hope to see you in episode 11. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, saying toodaloo.